Hey, 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 hello, 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 beautiful people of both Instagram and YouTube, because I am putting this on both of those platforms. So, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, it's your girl, the Eternal Flower Child. And those of you who follow me on YouTube, it's your girl, Beautifully Witchy. So this video, so first let me put it up to disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this video are just that, views and opinions, and they are my own. So take these views and opinions with a grain of salt. So with that being said, this is my take on the release on the 30th anniversary of the hit album Dreaming of You by the Tejano legend Selena. So I, of course, like most of her most of her fans by now have already listened to it since it just dropped at midnight. So overall, I give the album 9 out of 10. There were a few nuances I particularly didn't care for, but like I said, the views and opinions are mine. So there were 4 songs from the album that I personally couldn't hear any difference between the original and the remastered. So in my personal opinion, I don't feel they were remastered. So those 4 songs that I felt that way were God's Child, Baila Conmigo, Tu Solo Tu, El Toro Relajo, Tecnocumbia, the remix. So to me, I didn't hear any distinct differences between the original remixed versions and the remastered remixes and original versions. But of course, God's Child, Baila Conmigo, Tu Solo Tu, and El Toro Relajo, if I'm correct, they came from the album Don Juan de Marco, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I know one of the songs did come from the Don Juan de Marco soundtrack, but I digress. So, but the things I did like about the album, first of all, the album cover is absolutely gorgeous. So Suzette, you did a great job. That is an absolutely beautiful picture of Selena herself, and it's perfect for this 30th anniversary of the Dreaming of You album. For me, like I said, there were a few nuances in certain songs that I didn't care for. With I Could Fall in Love, which is one of my favorite songs off the album, the breakdown, like the bridge part where she's singing in Spanish, I particularly didn't care for. The background singer going, I could fall in love, I could fall in love, and so on and so forth. That's, like I said, that's just me personally. I love the fact that they enhanced Selena's vocals so you could really hear the nuances in her voice. And her sister is absolutely right. Listening to the original versus the remastered versions are like completely night and day. With Captive Heart, I love the little ending that we didn't get from the original. So that was very surprising, but that was an absolutely pleasant and unexpected surprise. So that was great. I'm Getting Used to You was a good song. And it's one of the underrated hits on the album, in my opinion, of course. So that was a good song. And, overall, I don't think there was anything that I didn't like about I'm Getting Used to You. So, but God's Child, Baila Conmigo is a great song. Like I said, I didn't hear any distinct differences between the original and the remastered version, but definitely listen to the album. And if y'all find any differences, please let me know in the comments of these videos, so that way I can go back and take a second look, because actually this was my second time listening to the album. I actually listened to it at work. With Dreaming of You, I feel like, to me, it has an ethereal quality. The original does. The remaster version, I felt like it took away from that ethereal quality. There were certain things that I heard in the original that I didn't hear in the remastered version. And I know with remastered versions, you make them sound clearer and enhance the nuances and the vocals and everything like that. I feel like some of the instrumentation shouldn't have been turned down, especially with Dreaming of You. Let's see. So overall, Dreaming of You is still an absolutely fabulous song. But like I said, it just took away, there's just a little bit of that ethereal quality, especially at the beginning of the song when she starts singing Late at Night When All the World is kind of like you're going into a dreamy sequence. So there is that. Missing My Baby was great. To me, it felt like at the beginning they took that from the original, from Entre a Mi Mundo. So, but to me, it felt like that Full Force went in and re-recorded their parts. So, but overall, it was still a good song. Amor Prohibido, I really didn't care for the remastered remix version because the remix version on the original Dreaming of You is absolutely fantastic. And when the remastered version of Amor Prohibido, the album, came out, I thought maybe that's what they were going to do. I was like, okay, so maybe they may put the remix version from the Dreaming of You album onto the Amor Prohibido album, which didn't happen. So, but like I said, that this is just my opinion. So yeah, but like I said, the original remix version of Amor Prohibido from the original Dreaming of You, in my opinion, is better than the remastered remix version. With Wherever You Are, Donde Quiera que Estés, I felt like that the vocals for the Barrio Boys should have been enhanced a little bit more, especially when they're going into the second verse and it says, I see your smile, I hear your laughter. I'm used to hearing I hear your laughter, and they actually turned it down a little bit. So I felt like when they were singing, Girl, Wherever You Are, that those vocals should have been turned up a little bit more as well. Techno Cumbia, I didn't see any difference between the original and the remastered remix, which happens to be one of my favorite songs, and actually the first song by Selena in Spanish that I actually learned. But that remix is still a great song. El Toro Relajo, I didn't hear any distinct difference, but it's still a great song as well. And it happens to be T.S. Madison's favorite Selena song. So, and I will be honest, it doesn't get the love that it deserves, especially in my Selena repertoire. That's one of the songs I can say I've only listened to a handful of times. Como la Flor, for being one of her signature songs. This is another one where I really didn't care for the remastered version of the remix because the remix itself from the original was great. I felt like certain instruments should have been turned down in the original, and the ending was a little different, but like I said, that's just me. Tu Solo Tu, I didn't hear any distinct difference, and that's a good song. I think I might only play that once a year. So yeah, it's another one of those Selena songs that doesn't get a lot of love and play in my Selena repertoire. Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb, which happens to be my dad's favorite Selena song. I actually liked the original remixed version versus the remastered, because I liked hearing the drums more. But that's just me. But I still like, hearing the enhanced vocals and the little ad lib that she does at the ending of the song when the song fades out. So that was great. So, but overall, it's an absolutely fantastic album. So definitely give it a listen. I definitely do plan to add it to the collection. And like I said, in my personal opinion, I give the album overall a 9 out of a 10. So, but for those of you who have the original and the remastered version and have listened to them both, let me know what you think. And like I said, with the 4 songs that I mentioned that I didn't hear any distinct differences, if you hear a distinct difference, let me know and I'll definitely go back and take a look and say, I see what you mean. So, but like I said, that's just my take. But of course, we over here, we absolutely love Selena. You know, with the remastered versions, we got to hear where she was going, where she was headed. And we all know, had she lived, it would have been absolutely phenomenal. If she had lived and completed the English album, there's no telling where she would be. Probably she'd be doing a video like this and we all be tuning in. But this is your girl on Instagram, the Eternal Flower Child, and your girl on YouTube, Beautifully Witchy, signing off. But you all have a good weekend. Definitely go stream the album, go purchase the album, because it's available for pre-order on vinyl, CD, and cassette. But like I said, let me know what you think, and I will see you beautiful people next time on both platforms. Talk to y'all later. Happy Friday and have a good weekend. Bye, y'all.